Good morning. Should be actually an exciting day on tap, guys. We've actually got some stuff moving in pre-market. We're going to cover that here in 1 second. Everybody, 60 seconds to get in here. Gatorade over coffee today, so trying to hydrate. All right, GM guys. Let's go ahead and get started. As you all know, guys, welcome to the pre-market live. Today is Wednesday, August 24th. As you guys know, we have been in a much slower market as of the past week. It has slowed down considerably. That doesn't mean it's going to stay slow. That doesn't mean it's going to continually just get slower. It just means that it's slow this week. We do have Jackson Hole coming up, guys. We have Jackson Hole coming up on Friday, and that's going to be a really big deal with Fed Chair Powell. So until we get to Jackson Hole and get through Jackson Hole, we are probably going to have a slower market on tap. That being said, we've had a couple pieces of very interesting news this morning that could spark the market a little bit. When do I think the market will go back to how it was the past 7 weeks? I think as we get closer to midterms, we're going to start to see a lot more theme plays. So probably starting next month, guys, because we have midterms coming up pretty soon. September is normally, the beginning of September is normally a little bit slower, a little bit heavier, a little bit more downside pressure. My thought process is we've probably got a week, a couple more days of this, and then we'll get some nice opportunities, and then it'll kind of get back to how it was probably, the middle of September. And then definitely August and November should be incredibly hot. So it's normally, midterm years are normally extremely volatile and have a lot of really nice opportunities. So October, November, late September should be great. Probably got a couple more weeks of not this slow. This is some of the worst price action I've seen, guys. I have not been pushing it at all. I had my smallest green day of the entire quarter. Probably one of my smallest green days of the entire year. So yesterday. So interesting setups though this morning, guys. BBBY. This is an interesting one to me. Did have news last night. Secured a $375 million loan. I don't think the news is that great, but these are due for a relief rally. Meme stocks, when they come down 80% like this, or 70%, when they retrace like that, they tend to have these relief rally moves, and that's what we're seeing right now. It's up to 1108 in pre-market. I have no real interest on BBBY until it really gets into this 1238, 12.5 area, if we get there, because that is a huge spot, and that has a lot of room above on the chart. So that would provide probably an A+ short opportunity or an A+ long, depending on the volume and the flow we get. I'm not sure we're going to see that type of move, though. But we will see. I think you're going to see a lot of profit taking at the open, because a lot of people, when they see these meme names come down like this, they get in, try to swing some stuff here. This one was a little bit more risky. I didn't want to take the risk here because, God forbid they declare bankruptcy or something awful like that. I don't want to be dealing with that. I could totally see something like that happening in the market that we're in. So just wasn't for me, but this should be a nice move. And again, guys, really the only area that I become very interested in BBBY is in that 1258, 1260 area. I quickly, before I talk about the others, want to talk about SPY, QQQ a little bit, guys. SPY really looks like it may want to test this 410 level. This is going to be what's important to watch today. We've seen a lot of increased selling volume. This is notable selling volume here, guys, so we really need to pay attention to how the market is going to react today. This 409 area, I talked about this yesterday, but we're in this chop zone on the S&P 500. That's why the action was so disgusting yesterday, and we've got a pretty big catalyst. A lot of people think Powell is going to tip his hand on 70 or 50 at the Jackson Hole meeting. We'll see if that actually happens. But again, guys, I personally don't think we're going to see any outsized moves on the S&P 500 until Friday. This has been the slowest week ever, and I think it's going to continue. But we'll see, right? You never know when the opportunity is going to present itself. But again, stronger support, 407 to 409. We're at 412 on the S&P. We've had a big move down the last few days. I think we're kind of pricing in worser case scenario for if Powell comes out, right? But we will see. I do want to mention key level going into today on the Qs. We need to hold this 313.50 level, right? This has been a key level all week, 313.5, and we've had a lot of trouble getting back above. We'll see, right? But if we break below 313, guys, that would be kind of my risk off zone where if I'm long something and we break under it, it'll be a no touch for me, right? So very interesting to watch to see how we treat this level at 313.41, guys, on QQQ. But that's kind of going to be the big level to pay attention to. Upside resistance, obviously, guys, on the Qs at that 315.67 mark. You could tell yesterday we had a lot of wicks up and selling pressure into that resistance. And so, again, coming into today, guys, those are the levels I really want to pay attention to, right? We've kind of been trading in this range. We've been trading in this range right here between 313.40 and 315.67, guys, and it's miserable. This sucks. So until we break out of this range, I'm not going to trade any large caps. Pretty much that's kind of how it is. I had to blow my nose there. Pretty much the primary reason why I don't want to be touching mega caps when we're in this range is because it's just going to naturally create a lot of chop. The one name I do want to talk about that I do think could provide a nice opportunity outside of large cap tech is Piton. News out about them coming to an agreement with Amazon to sell their gear and Peloton bikes. CNBC is reporting that at 8:30 this morning. It is up 12%, 10% pre-market. This one looks good. I'm not going to lie. This looks like it could get a nice little squeeze out. I think people have been kind of waiting for this news. 1280 doesn't look out of the question, guys. Coming out to the daily chart, again, we're kind of back at this original, right, launch pad area. 1120, big key level for Piton, so it's natural that it's bouncing off of that spot. News tends to come out at the best times, right? But I wouldn't be surprised to see this make a move back towards this 13 level. We are pushing into this 1280 level now. We've got a very smooth area of price action here up to 1280 and 13.6. That's where we're going to encounter more resistance on Peloton. Now, why is that, right? Well, that is because you can see these big wicks on the daily, right? That means there was stronger support here in this 1280 range. So you're going to need to be very cautious coming into 1272, 1280. If we're ramping into that into the open, that could be a big area of resistance, right? And I don't know, Peloton hasn't reacted the best towards news as of late, but we'll see. Maybe they give it a liquidity day. Maybe we get that really high volume. Just need to watch the volume off the open and then can make a better decision on trading it. It's always a wait, 12 to 15 minutes and then react type of trader on Peloton for me. I would like to see it come down and test 1189 and then see the bounce up, right? That would be my kind of A+ setup here on Peloton. Yes, SoFi is doing well off of the Biden student loan relief news. Again, SoFi will be another one that I'm watching today. More of a secondary focus, but definitely going to keep an eye on SoFi today, especially if the growth names are relatively strong. I think that SoFi could provide an opportunity. Daily chart, not as nice as Piton, but it has potential, right, for sure, to maybe get 7+. We'll see. It acted really weak the last time I traded it. Maybe that's because SoftBank was liquidating part of their position, but that 609 level is going to be big. So, we're pushing into 660 right now, 668. My question, like I said, is there's very strong resistance up here at 707 into 716. For me, the risk reward in this type of market is probably not there, but I'm going to keep an eye on it, especially if it gets over 7 on high volume and good momentum, then it definitely becomes of interest. My top focus today is actually a little bit, I wouldn't call it random, but is Carvana, actually. I like Carvana a lot here. So Carvana has retraced now almost 50% from where it was, right? We touched 60 on Carvana or 59, and we're back at 33, right? So we've retraced almost 50% on Carvana. Now, one thing I will mention, and I said this a while ago, but Piton was going with Carvana. On days we'd see Piton ripping, we would see Carvana ripping alongside it, right? Now, the key thing to remember is, do we see that continue today, but in reverse, right? If we see Piton go parabolic and have that massive, 12, 13, 14% day, right? Or 15, 16% day, do we see Carvana also follow alongside? And it would make sense. Carvana is now back at an area of prior resistance, right? This is an area of prior resistance here on Carvana. So does this area turn into demand? Yes, that would make sense. We have to see it if it actually continues, right? Really important level that I'm watching is this closing level in that 34.70 range, guys, of where we closed yesterday. If we can hold that 34.70 level on Carvana, I think we actually have a very good shot at possibly bouncing up into 42. I don't love the way the options trade on this one, especially when the volume isn't great. So anything I want to trade here, likely going to be smaller size. But again, definitely an area that I'm looking at as a possible opportunity. Last thing I want to say this morning, guys, none of these setups are as good as the setups that we were facing a couple weeks ago. I know that sucks, but guys, you have to remember that there are good times in the market when you are going heavy and things are working and there's good volume. And it's not like there's just only stuff working to the downside right now. Stuff's just not working, period. Right? Yesterday, people were getting chopped up if you were in puts. People were getting chopped up if you were in calls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right now, for me, is just a hands-off time. You have to be okay with the fact that, hey, right now might not be the best time to be trading heavy. So adjust. You have to adjust or the market will kick your ass. I promise. I got my ass kicked when I started trading by the market because I tried to trade like a big shot when the market was like, hey, asshole, settle down, wait until after Powell opens his mouth, and then you can trade, right? You have to come into this with a different approach or you will be schooled by the market. And I'm telling you that in the nicest way and most simple way possible, but I'm also trying to make it very clear because guys, I went through it. I lost a ton of money trying to trade like the market was telling me not to. Does that make sense, guys? It's the end of the stream. I'm going to go ahead and get on Discord voice, but I really hope that makes sense, guys, because don't give away the gains that the market gave you at the beginning of this month. That was life-changing money. You will notice that the 10K challenge, right, has been sitting at the same $121,000 mark for 4 days now, right? It's not like it's sitting there. Right? It's like, I had a small red day, small green day. The point is everything is small, right? I'm not giving back. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. I really wanted to drive that point home. Yeah, exactly. There's no problem being heavy cash. Definitely not the time to be swinging anything yet. I'm going to look at starting that swing on array today, though, I will say. I'm watching. That looks really good. Excuse me. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get on Discord live voice. We're going to go ahead and do some trading today. We'll see maybe Piton continuing its leg up. Let's see if they give it a liquidity day. If we get liquidity day on Peloton, it should be really, really fun. All right, guys. I'm going to see you guys in a little bit on Discord voice, and then we'll be back on YouTube live for the Power Hour live trading stream. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace.